All right. Let's go with that. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. It's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, September 11th, 2023. Just tinkering with the camera at the beginning of the live stream here today. It's never exactly centered, and, it always bothers me when it isn't. So I guess I'm just bothered a little bit every day. I guess that's part of the human condition. Today, we got a package from a rabbit that we'll unbox. It is not the Cozy Run Club singlets. I will let you guys know when it comes in. That'll be a very special unboxing that day. This is just some other stuff. I've got it for a little while. I guess it was received on August 21st, 2023, but things have come up. I was busy. I was traveling abroad, and then I came back. Then other things that I wanted to prioritize, and better late than never. We'll get to it really soon. But before we do that, let's say hi to everyone listening on the podcast on the audio only version. It's raining here in Crystal Lake right now. Hopefully it's not raining as you're listening to this, or maybe it's been really hot. I know some of you guys in the South and even on the East Coast last couple of days have had a really hot weather. So hopefully you are getting rain because it's cooling you down, and hopefully no one's getting like a hurricane. I feel like there's some hurricanes that are looming, right? That could be a problem. Hopefully you're not getting any of that as you're listening to this. And everyone watching this live later, but not live, welcome to you guys, because you're watching the number one running podcast to figure out what's inside this plastic bag. What's inside this plastic bag? I said it twice because I feel like it kind of came out a little bit funny the first time. But, we'll get there. It's Monday. It's kind of early. I'm a little bit off this morning. I got to tell you, my daughter had a doctor's appointment. So I went to go, well, number one, our entire family is exhausted. We went apple picking yesterday, and the place we go apple picking, it's like a fall festival kind of thing that they got going over there. There's like zip lines, like a ropes course for the kids, little pedal go-kart racing, pig racing, if you're so inclined to watch that. We fed some goats. We did a corn maze for an hour. It was really hard. So we came home we also did some apple picking, and we came home super exhausted. The kids were very tired. I woke up I let the kids sleep in all a little bit, but my daughter had a doctor's appointment that I forgot about. So she wasn't going to the bus on her normal schedule. So I was freaking out because I thought she hadn't gotten up yet. Usually she gets annoyed if I wake her up because she's independent now. She's 11. And then I forgot that she had a doctor's appointment. So she was grumpy that I woke her up early. And then I woke up the baby a little bit late. So everything's just been a little bit off. I wanted to get a video out today, but I was just so exhausted after apple picking yesterday. So that video, DJI Osmo Action 4, that video will come out tomorrow. But now we're here. All right. Cobalt Blue says your apple picking venue sounds lit. It's incredible. Last year was the first year that we went. It's like the next town over. It's really nice when you live far out from the city now. The place that used to be felt like a day trip just to get there. Now is kind of like in my backyard. But I don't know if you guys saw it. I think maybe most of you guys probably saw it. The picture that I took inside, they have a new giant corn pit, and I had the kids bury me in it, and my wife took a picture. And there wasn't that busy yesterday, so it just looks like I'm swimming in a sea of corn, like Scrooge McDuck style. So that was pretty fun. It was a lot of fun, but I'm just very, very much exhausted. Martha wants to know if we left any deposits in the corn maze. Well, no, we didn't. But our family, we didn't bring enough water for it. We didn't think it was gonna be that long. But we went in there, we didn't bring enough water. We had snacks with us. We didn't bring enough water, and we're all getting very tired towards the end. And the baby doesn't really walk that much anymore. My older daughter is used to walking everywhere in the city because she grew up walking everywhere. My younger daughter doesn't quite have that. So for her, walking for an hour straight was a lot. We didn't take very many breaks, and towards the end, I put my older daughter on my shoulders to try to figure out which way was out. We didn't download there's a map we could have downloaded if you did the QR code. We didn't do that on the way in because we didn't think we would need it. Hubris. It always comes to bite you in the butt. But so I put her on the shoulders so that she could see which way generally we should be heading. Not that always helps in a maze. So we would do that, and we were very close to the point where if I told my wife we were just going to walk straight through the corn, and who cares about the maze because we got to get out of here, She was ready. She was ready. We ended up not even finishing the corn maze. We just made it back out the way we came in. So we didn't make it out the exit. We made it to the entrance of the corn maze. So I don't know. It was pretty intense. All right. Travis Fournier says, "Hey, Colt, loving all the Europe content. Finished my first half marathon under 2 hours at 1:59:48 at the end of August. Congratulations, Travis." No, that sound works, but this is the sound I was looking for. Good job, Travis. And Calvin says, "Hey, Colt, I'm glad you're loving the new Phantasm, or more specifically the S-Lab Phantasm 2. And with that in mind, you probably don't need to review the Alpha Fly 2. It's by no means a bad shoe, but it's not any better than any racing shoe, I think." Okay. Well, I wasn't going to review the Alpha Fly 2. I'll probably review the Alpha Fly 3 when that comes out. And I don't plan on reviewing the Vaporfly 3. I'll probably get a pair just so I have them and know as a reference what they're like, but I just don't think I'm going to review those. All right. Adam says it's raining, or it was, in Colorado. Nice. And Mana Run says, "Yo, what's going on, everybody? No spoilers of my content, but let's ring that bell." Nice. Mana Runs has been running a 5K every week for this entire year, and he's been getting faster. So nice. All right. Let's see let's scroll all the way down, see what else we got here. Sean Marshall says, "Well, this is a nice question. Colt, what are your top 3 recommendations for looking to add a little fun shoe to your lineup?" Ooh, okay. I think for fun shoes, that's an interesting question. It depends on how you describe fun, but I've been really enjoying from like things that are different and a little bit unexpected. This one up here, that is the Topo Cyclone 2. That's been a very fun shoe for me. Let's see, what else would be fun? I'm trying to think of like shoes that are like quirky or different that most people probably aren't running in. Let's think about 2 more. What else all is in here? I've been really enjoying the Trabuco Max 2. That's a really fun shoe because it's Nimbus like, but it's on the trails. So it's just really nice to just have on for a really long period of time. And then a third fun shoe. I think let's just go with I have to go with the Prime X. That's a really fun shoe. And since it's like, quote unquote illegal, I think that counts in the fun category. So let's go with those. Ask me again tomorrow. I'll probably give you 3 different ones, but I like that. I like those for right now. All right. Luke Klein says, "Hi, Colt. I was hanging a bit with the Believe in the Run peeps at a train to New York City New Balance event before the Fifth Avenue Mile. Megan Featherston says hi." Oh, that's awesome. I was very jealous and envious that I was not there at the Fifth Avenue Mile. It looked like you guys all had a lot of fun, both at the Shakeout event the day before, and then at the race the following day. Although I think some of the races got canceled because of the lightning and stuff. But it looked like a really fun event. I'm very envious because I posted about it on Threads. It's like the 6th year in a row that I have not been invited to participate in the media heat of the Fifth Avenue Mile. Chris Chavez, who I feel like is very comparable running wise to me. He might even be faster than me at this point. His training has been looking good. But he ran a 5:17 and came in 10th in the media heat at the Fifth Avenue Mile. I feel like that's right around where I feel like I'm at right now. I'm not in the middle of marathon training like he is, but that's where I feel like I am. So I think that would have been fun to come in top 10 in the media heat, but no one ever invites me to that race. Not that I can't just go myself, but it's funnier when I make it sound like people are snubbing me. All right. Stevie76 travel question says, "When you travel to Europe, where and how much euros did you get?" I'm thinking 300 euros for Berlin. I did. So I was of the assumption that I would have to pay for a lot of things in cash. I don't know why I thought it'd be like Japan, but I just thought it'd be like Japan. Japan, I got no cash, and it was really hard because I feel like a lot of things took cash, and I regretted not having more. Oh, also, here's where I thought about it. When I was in Berlin, when I was in Nuremberg earlier to this, I think it was this year. Was it this year or late last year? I don't know. When I was in Nuremberg to visit the Adidas headquarters, all the fun stuff was in cash. It was just a lot easier if I would have had cash on me, and I didn't have any cash on me because I just figured I could pay for everything with my phone or with a credit card. That wasn't the case. So that was super annoying. So that's why I felt like I needed to get some euros. But the thing is, I first got to Budapest. Yeah. I got to Budapest first. And so then I had a bunch of Hungarian forints. I think I got like $100 worth of Hungarian forints. Budapest actually was pretty good. I didn't need a ton of cash. It made it a lot easier to get the chimney cakes if you had cash, though. But then I went to Geneva to go to Chamonix. Chamonix is in France. Geneva is in Switzerland. I just switched all my currency from Hungarian forints into whatever whatever the local currency was. I didn't even say anything. I just handed her like all my leftover Hungarian forints, and they gave me Swiss francs. And then I realized that night that I'm going to France tomorrow, which is an hour away. And so then the next day I was at the airport again to meet up with the rest of the team because we were meeting from the airport to go to France. And then I changed another $100 into euros. And that was enough because in Chamonix, not a lot of places took cash. So, I mean, they did, but it would have been just as easy to pay with a card. So like, the only time I really used cash was to buy ice cream and some souvenirs. So I didn't need a lot. I would think though for Berlin, 300 euros is depending. I mean, you're gonna be there for several days. 300 euros is you won't need it to pay for food at restaurants and stuff. But if you want to get like street food, vendor food, things like that, you probably will need. I've never been to Berlin, but if it's like Nuremberg, there's a lot of fun stuff that you're gonna want cash for. So it's a really long way of saying 300 euros is probably good, but you probably don't need that many, depending on how much. If you're assuming you'll also use a card, but if you don't want to use a card at all, then that's probably a good number. I don't know. I'm really bad with money, so take that with a grain of salt. Calvin Wong wants to know, Nimbus Trail was teased and a pair popped up on eBay the other day. Any more info on that? I have no idea. I have not heard about that at all. I'm trying to think. Have I heard about a Nimbus Trail? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I've heard about a Nimbus Trail. It's an interesting idea. I don't know how it's different than a Trabuco Max, too, though. I mean, I guess I can figure out how it'd be. Make it a little bit more chill. Put like a Max Glide. Put like one of these types of outsole on it, like the Solomon Max Glide Max Trail. But do this with like a Nimbus. That sounds like it could be interesting. That could be really useful for people that run trails like I do. You know, interesting. I've never heard of it before. All right, let's keep scrolling down. Adam says card or phone. I found my experience was generally that card was easy to use, especially if you have like the tap to pay card, but phones were finicky. Like the Frankfurt airport was like it didn't work anywhere in there for some reason. I don't know if it has to deal with the fact that like, you know, the bank is processing the transaction. I don't know how it's different, but like I went to multiple places because I had a really long layover in Frankfurt. So I saw a lot of people trying to buy food. And every time they tried to use a phone, it wouldn't work. So you'd have to use cash or a card. So I would say card over phone. I don't think there's a lot of phone pay, Apple Pay in Europe. It didn't seem to work a lot wherever I was. Oh, Justin Confiser says Nimbus Trail is live on the website right now. I'll have to take a look at that. Sounds interesting. I Run a Beer says, this is a great question by Stevie76 about the currency. He says, my wife and I are headed to Berlin, but we're traveling through Prague, Berlin, and a day trip into Poland. All three on different currencies. It's so complicated. Yeah, like I can't. It's super frustrating that the currencies are all so different because you're not going far. Like, imagine if you had different currencies going from like Boston to New York to Washington D.C. Like, I know some of those places aren't literally that close, but that's how much the currencies can change in certain parts of Europe. And I'm just like, how do you even figure that out as a business owner? Because a lot of places took multiple currencies. You would see it like little cards, even at like the Frankfurt airport, gift shops there, little like the chimney cake stands. They would have things listed in Hungarian forints and in euros, so you could like pay either one. And like, I don't know, like they would tell you what their exchange rates were. So I'm like, all right, you got to figure out how much is this chimney cake going to cost me? I have no idea. Is it cheaper if I pay for this chimney cake in forints or in euros today? I don't know. That's more math than I want to do when I want to buy a chimney cake or a gelato. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I always just did it at the airport. There was one lady that was ahead of me at the airport. She was a British woman. And she must have said 5 times in a very short transaction of trading pounds. I think it was pounds to, or from euros to pounds or whatever, saying that the exchange rate was really not that great. But I guess you got to do it anyway. This is what else are you going to do? I'm at the airport. I want to change the currency before I go home. And I was like, is she saying this to haggle? Is she saying this because she can't help herself? I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, the lady behind the counter does not have discretion in the exchange rate to apply to your pounds or to your euros to pounds transaction here. So, like, saying something to her about it, complaining to her about it, isn't going to change. She's not going to say, hey, boss, people are complaining about this euro to pound exchange rate. Maybe we should make it a little bit more favorable. That's not how. I didn't understand the purpose of it, other than the fact that it was just like verbal, like emotion coming out as words, completely unfiltered, with no thought as to whether or not like it was useful or not. It just made her sound nasty. I had a really hard time understanding it. Anyway, that was a tangent, but that's clearly it's been bothering me for a couple of days. All right, Sean Devlin says there's no math involved in opening the box. You're right on that. So let's get to it. Got a package from Rabbit. The UPS place managed to put a sticker on both this side and then the address sticker on the other side, covering all of the Rabbit logos on this packaging. I don't think that was intentional, but I couldn't cover up the logos better if I tried. All right. We've got a piece of paper in here. It says, thank you for being so rad. It's a packing slip, but it also does say, thank you for being so rad. Which I was thinking about. I'm like, you know, you've got Rabbit's got like the Rad Rabbits and stuff like that, which is their like elite Rad Rabbits is their like that's their like influencer program. Then Rad Rabbit Elite is their everything's rad, right? But like it's a California company. Cali Vibes is a part of their collection. So is that what I'm sure RAD is also an acronym. I don't know what it stands for, but yeah, that's what we got. All right. First, everything in here is very blue, guys. All right. We got some short shorts. Now, these are the Fuel and Fly 3 inches in royal blue. Not only are they short shorts, they sent me a size small this time. I'm not scared. I'm going to try it. I've been loving the Fuel and Flies. The material is really lightweight, very quick drying, and I love these laser cut holes. There isn't as much of kind of a slit on this one because it's a 3-inch short versus a 5-inch. I think I have them in 2 different colors in the 5-inch. This is a nice one. There's a little pocket in the back that's zipper. I think you might be able to fit a phone in here if you took it out of the case and if you have a smaller phone. And there is two pockets on interior pockets on the side too. So if you have smaller gels like goos, you can get them kind of in the back, like kidney pockets. And then there's also a key pocket. Oh, there's two pockets in the front as well. They look like key pockets, but so depending on the size of your gels, you could easily fit one in each of those pockets. So you get 4 gels, and in this back, you could probably fit another at least 2 plus like a car key. So you could definitely get a marathon's worth of gels, depending on the size of your gels, in these 3-inch shorts. So that's pretty impressive. I'm loving the way that brands are pushing how much they could fit in the short shorts, because I am team half tights. I love the half tights, but in some of the summer races, the half tights are too hot, and so I like having the split shorts as an option too. So this is nice. And now, ooh, I wasn't expecting this. It's like the fuel and fly kind of cut. So it's got these like laser cut holes in the side, but it's a long sleeve. So there's some underneath the arm for that armpit ventilation, and then on the sides, and then it's got that elastic piece in the back of the neck, which we've seen in some of the other rabbit pieces for this year, which I initially did not like. I'm still not a huge fan of them, but it's growing on me. Actually, it's blue, but I think I like this one. I think I can get it. I can make this work. Um, yeah, Luke Klein says that's gorgeous. It's really nice. Is this orange? Is it blue and orange? It's kind of like Knicks colors, like New York Knicks basketball. Yeah. Sean says I don't know about the top. I think it could go either way. Martha says it's really pretty. Yeah. I like this. I think I can make this work. Yeah, this is nice. It has a nice little notch on the side over here of the shirt. The new kind of rabbit logo on the side here, which is kind of like it's like an iron-on kind of thing. The old ones used to be like patches. I did like the old patches, but this is a cool long sleeve. So I'll definitely have to try that out. We are getting to that time of year where long sleeves are useful. I actually wore a rabbit long sleeve. What is it? Is it the easy long sleeve? Easy long sleeve. I wore that for apple picking yesterday. So it's that time of year already. We're here. It's perfect timing. Dark Kick says, loving what Rabbit has been putting out there lately. Colorful and stylish. I feel like I really enjoy some of what they're putting out there. Some of it is a little too far out there for me, and I'm like, I don't know about that. You're going too fast for me, or too far for me. But this I like. I like this because it's not like the blue of. Also, I feel like, is it just me or are these blues not the same? Are they the same? When I look at it on camera, it looks the same. But this seems darker to me. Maybe it's because it's got dark kind of like color accents to it. But like solid blue, just never. It just does. There's something that my eyes don't like about solid blue. But this I like. It's not solid blue. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Yeah, Mark Peterson. It's the EZT. EZT. Yeah, I did the EZT, but in the long sleeve. I have 2 of them. One has like the Chicago Marathon course on it, and the other one has the Boston Marathon course on it. I might have won my Boston Marathon one. I was that guy at apple picking. CV76 says, name your apples. We picked, there was 4 kinds that the orchard said was ready for picking. We got a handful of zester, like lemon zest, but zester apples, which I'd never had before. They are very tart, very waxy. I didn't actually like them. The colors were very beautiful, though. We also had a couple of galas. Then we had some Honey Crisps, which everyone loves Honey Crisps. And then we got some Macintosh, which I think I'm the only one in my family that likes a Macintosh. But those are the 4 kinds that we got yesterday. Not Oscar says, "What's your go-to food and drink after a run?" I would love a beer after a run. I mean, I guess that'd be after a race, but after a run, I usually want just. I could usually go for a little bit of Gatorade and then some coffee, or maybe some coffee and then some Gatorade. I drink a lot of Gatorade. It's not my favorite drink, but the price per serving and the ease of availability make it a very common drink in my house. I'd say I prefer Scratch a lot, but and I also yesterday, as soon as we got home from the apple picking, I had a drip drop. They actually sent me another bag of hydration, but I haven't gotten to open this one yet. But drip drop is another nice one that I like. Flavors are good, but usually it's just Gatorade, and then also it's usually the morning time when I finish my run, so coffee. And then if I can, or if it's a longer drive, if I've driven somewhere farther away, I might put a chocolate protein shake in the car to have on the way home. So those are kind of like the three things that I like to drink. Food wise, again, it's usually breakfast time, so anything breakfasty or leftovers. Usually, if there's like pasta leftovers or if there's rice leftovers, something like a rice dish, I'll fry an egg and put that on top. You know, that's yeah, a lot of left. Whatever's simple. I just want to eat a lot and I want to eat fast, kind of thing. Mm. Lou Klein says, "I'm getting a lot of matchy matchy stuff lately. I'm getting a lot of sets, which I appreciate. I mean, and, it's very practical to get sent like a bunch of like different pieces from a line, but I think it tells a better kind of like mini story if I get like a set, because I think this is from their. I don't know, it's not their PR collection because PR collection is different. But I remember they sent me an email about it. They said it was something that like from a color palette that they're. I think there's a singlet that matches this that might be PR collection. I'm not sure. So like it helps them kind of like tell a story. The La Sportiva one was fun because that one was with a collab shoe, and then it had like the unifying design element to it, and those were always kind of fun because when they're really really matchy matchy, then it's almost goofy to put together, and I love being goofy on the run. Um, let's see who else sent me. Oh, like the Say Sky stuff. I think is the most matchy matchy. I mean, I think Say Sky is beyond matchy matchy a lot of time. I just feel like they get like a giant amount of bolts of fabric, and they're like, we're using the same fabric, and we're cutting shirts, jackets, tights, and singlets from it, and then you can wear them all at the same time, and it looks like camo. But someone sent me an email today saying they wanted to send me stuff for the next season, and they wanted to confirm my address. I think it was Say Sky. So I think there might be more Say Sky stuff coming. Pretty excited. Speaking of matchy matchy. All right. So we got some Apple opinions in here. Martha says the best Apple is Honeycrisp unless you go into heirlooms like Co is describing. So I feel like everyone likes Honeycrisp. It's like it's an apple of broad appeal. I also tend to really like Fuji's, but the Fuji apples weren't ready yet. Neither were any of the Asian pears at this orchard. So those are some other ones that I normally like. Mark Peterson likes the Honeycrisp. He thinks those are the best. Calvin said the Cosmic Crisp. He's a Cosmic Crisp gang. That is a good apple. You know what apple I like that you can't get here, but I've gotten it back in the East Coast when I've been apple picking with my sister and her family? Empire apples. That's a good apple. I like that one a lot. The ones that I've seen are all a little bit smaller. It always weirds me out when apples get really, really big. Feels like something's wrong with it on the inside, So the size is really nice. It also makes for a better like eatable apple. Like they're all edible, but you know what I mean? Like eating it just raw off the tree kind of thing. So that's a good one. Richard Wilson says Macintosh brings you back to childhood. Nice. And Frank says, I feel like Honeycrisp was starting to not be as tasty as they used to be. I don't know. I don't know about that, Frank. I think they're just not they've been we've had them for a while now, I guess. Because I feel like that's not a varietal that's been around for a long time, is it? I don't know. Adam says that switching gears here. Adam says that cashews are one of my favorite post race foods. I've never thought of that, but that does sound nice. Um, you know what happened? One of the days when we were on the hut run trip in the mountains, I forget what day it was, but like we had finished running for the day. I'd gotten my butt kicked all over the mountains. Basically everyone's waiting for me at the top of every incline, and we're coming in super exhausted, and we were sitting in the afternoon sun drinking some beers, and there was pistachios like in the shells just sitting around, and we're having a really good time sitting around chatting, having some beers, eating the pistachios. And someone said, I think it was Dylan Harris, Spirit of Dylan, photographer, works a lot with Solomon. He was in my Chamonix video. But Dylan goes, "This is one of my favorite snacktivities." And I was like, "A what now?" He goes, "Snacktivity. A snack that's an activity." I'm like, "Oh, I heard I know I know what the words mean, but I never heard anyone say it that way." I was just like, "Just want to make sure I heard you right." He's like, I'm able to figure it out from the context what it means. He's like, "Oh, okay." But I agree that that's a nice snacktivity. I don't feel like cashews can give you that. But after a race, if you're like in your singlet and you're like sweating, even then I don't know if I'd want cashews. But maybe afterwards at the bar I'd want cashews. But also any other snacktivity would be great. Although I feel like mussels, that's a nice snacktivity that me and my wife enjoy. But I don't think I'd want that after a race. I don't know. Mark Peterson wants to know, was it Scratch or Tailwind that did the Courtney Dahl watermelon flavors? It's Tailwind. I did have a lot. I took all the rest of my Dahl watermelon Tailwind with me to Chamonix. It just tastes. It's a nice tasting drink. I think I have 2 packets of Tailwind left. I've gone through a lot of Tailwind this summer, just coincidentally. And they're both lemon, so I feel like they're going to stick around for a long time. Frank says, "Are you actually going to try the muesli from the Run Box tomorrow?" As I predicted, I totally forgot to do them last night, so I will. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. I have my phone on me. I'll set an alarm for, let's say, like 9 p.m. tonight before I go to bed. And then hopefully I'll make the muesli, and then we could try them tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, Adam says pistachios are a snacktivity. It's a fun snacktivity. I really enjoyed it. Good. Mark Peterson says walnuts or crab legs. Crab legs are, crab or like a crab, like if you're doing a boil, I don't really like crawfish. It feels too much like I'm eating bugs. They're tasty, but like I don't like to eat the head part of it, and so I feel like it's lost on me. But walnuts could be fun. Crabs, yeah, but that's a commitment. You're gonna be messy, Frank says, what other foods kind of activity? Yeah, walnuts and crab legs I think is a good one. Who put it in here? Yeah, Calvin says build your own spring rolls. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. I remember growing up, a lot of the ladies would get together, and like the moms would all get together and make mandu, or Korean pot stickers. You just get like giant metal bowls full of the filling, and then they would all sit around with the wonton wrappers. You get your finger wet, put a little bit in, put your finger wet, close it up. People would sit around. That's not really a snack activity, but it was a nice social activity around food. What else are good snack activities? I think, like beer nuts. I don't know. I also feel like just having snacks is pretty nice too. It doesn't have to be an activity. Frank says fondue. Like the fondue or the raclette. Those were fun. Those were really, really fun. It felt like it just felt like a lot though. Like I'm like, oh, this is like a big. I feel like this is a tourist trap kind of thing. But I'm like, I also feel like this is traditional for the region. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Wobbly Boy says s'mores are a classic one. That's true. You just sit around the fire, you have a couple s'mores. That's nice. Vanessa Martinez says tamales made every holiday season in my family. That's fun too. But you don't eat them as you know what I mean? So it's like a good like making pot stickers. Really fun to do as a group because then you make a bunch at once. I think making raviolis has traditionally been very similar. I've not experienced that, but my understanding is that there's a similar traditions there, but and tamales too. That'd be fun. Man, you know what I miss living out here in the suburbs? I miss like a tamale guy rolling up. We would, well, I guess I didn't really do that much as once since I had kids. But when we were younger, my wife and I would just go out. We'd go out, and then you'd be out at the later bar after the regular bar, and then if you were in the right later bar, the tamale guy would just roll up, and he'd have a cooler full of hot tamales, and you could buy tamales just sit at the bar. That was nice. There's not a tamale guy in Crystal Lake, although there's a couple of really like intriguing looking Mexican restaurants in the area that my wife and I are like, next date night, we're gonna attack a couple of these and see how they go. Because I feel like some of them look very like touristy, not touristy, but like suburban, like Americanized. But some of them look legit. Some of them look real legit, and so I'm like, we're gonna go to those. I want to see, you know. Go Running with Oliver said, "Did Kofuzi drop his name in the hat for Boston 2024 this morning?" I did not. I'm not going to run. I'll be at Boston. I'm planning on being there. I'll be on the cheer squad. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a couple of like shakeout runs, maybe a live stream or a meet and greet, that kind of thing. That's what I'm really hoping to do. I want to be there, cheer you guys on, meet you guys, go for like shakeout runs and stuff like that. But I don't want to race it again. Um, I had a good time racing it this year, so I'm good for a little bit. Eliza said, "Co, if you're not doing Boston, would you do 26 Point True?" I'm thinking about it. I really wanted to do it. I saw it last year. It's very intriguing to me. It'll just depend on like schedule wise when it is. That's also like a really good time for doing group runs. So like, you know, I kind of have to make a decision at that point. But I do really like the idea of doing 26 Point True. Mark Peterson wants to know, did BA ever reach out? They've never emailed me as far as I know. I guess I should double check to see if my result is still there. Maybe they just fixed the glitch on me, DQ'd me without knowing. But I don't know. I guess I could double check. Vanessa says, "Money to freeze some tamales and ship them to Kofuzi." Yeah, I mean, I love that idea. But let me check out, because I feel like there is a not a I want to say large, but there is a noticeable Hispanic population here in McHenry County. So I'm like, where's everybody eating? I got to figure out what everybody's eating, because I got to get the tamales. So I'll find out. I got to do some research. There's some like weird spots here in this county. There's this one place. It looks like it's an abandoned building, and it says Chinese food in it, and like the old timey like chop suey font. And it has a sign out front that said that there's slot machines inside, because like slot machine gambling is legal in Illinois, so it's like a big thing out here. And every time I drive by it, I'm like, that just seems like a place that there's no way that I'm welcome inside. But then I was reading something else on it, and apparently it's like a tiki bar on the inside. And I'm like, and it's like one of the best tiki bars in the area. Granted, the area is McHenry County, but like even for the area, it's apparently a really good tiki bar. So my wife and I want to go and check it out. It could be an adventure. But I'm also like, I don't know, how are we going to get home from this place? One of us is going to have to drive, but like, it's no fun if one person is like designated driver and the other person's getting hammered on tiki drinks. So like, I don't know. Maybe we'll make it there, or maybe we won't. I don't know. Sean says my result's still there on the BA website. So okay, So they haven't reached out. They haven't disqualified me. So yeah. Tel De Mileto says, what majors are missing from my 6-star? London and Berlin. Hopefully I'll be doing both in 2024. That's my hope. That's my goal. So working on, I'm not counting on the lottery. So I'm going to try what I think is the easiest way is to just try and contact the sponsoring brands directly and see if they'll take you. So that's my current plan. All right. Frank says, I'm a little stressed about Marine Corps Marathon because my dad strained his hip. He's been running right at the cutoff type of speed, but I really don't want him to end up hurt. Yeah, that's a tough one, Frank. Because that course is kind of a tough one too. But yeah, hopefully he gets better soon. He's got it's at the end. It's like right around Halloween, isn't it? So he's got like 7 weeks more. So he's got some time. So. Calvin says, do you think there's enough time for the Olympic marathoners to run Chicago next year? You know what? I'm not sure when the Olympics are. I feel like they're very late. Does anyone look that up? Are they not in? I feel like they're in September this year. Like the Beijing ones were in August because they wanted it to start on 8/8/8, August 8, 2008. Other times they're in, like, I thought sometimes they've been in July, sometimes they've been in September. I think it can move around, right? So, or am I making that up? I don't know. But if let's say they're running in August, some of them can run Chicago. But I'm not sure. Maybe next year would be a good year for me to run Chicago, but I want to run Berlin next year. So I don't know. That'll be tough because I would love to go to Paris. I'm hoping I get to go to Paris to cover the Olympic marathon. But maybe I'll just stay in Europe for like a while, depending on when it is in relation to Berlin. Manaron says the Olympics are July 26th to August 11th. Oh, okay. So in that case, yeah, that's 2 months. That's plenty of time. I think that some people could do it. Not everyone is going to want to do it, but I think a lot of people probably could. But I also think that a lot of the people that it also could be one of those situations where someone that I don't know, maybe that doesn't get to go uses Chicago as kind of like their redemption race kind of thing. Calvin says the marathon is August 10th. Okay. So that gives you a solid 2 months before Chicago. So I feel like there's a lot of pros I think that could do that. Would that be ideal? No. But the Olympics don't pay really. Unless you win. But major marathons do pay appearance fees, AJ thinks that the Paris Marathon is going to be hot and ridiculous. It's definitely going to be hot. It's definitely going to be a hot one. So Adam says no top Olympians will do Chicago. They'll be ready for Valencia. But do the top marathoners really, do a lot of them do Valencia? Are the appearance fees good enough for them to draw them there? Because I mean, like, why wouldn't you do, if you're a top Olympian and you're trying to like maximize the kind of like your revenue for the year, why don't you do Olympics and then New York? Because that gives you 3 months. You can at least do the appearance fee. You don't have to, like, I'm not saying show up and walk, but you can have a good showing there and it wouldn't be putting your body in too much jeopardy, I think. All right, Brian Lee says, can I get a bell ring? I knocked 16 minutes and 54 seconds off my marathon PB. Super happy about that. That is fantastic, Brian. Congratulations. That's a really big PR. Aiden says the Paris Olympics is a tricky course and it's quite hilly. Yeah, I know that. I feel like there's like one big hill and then you come down it on the way back. It's a looped course, right? I haven't looked at it too closely. But yeah, I'm really thinking that I definitely want to go. I've never been to an Olympics before. And here's the odd situation. My sister used to work for NBC Sports and she's been to every Olympics since like Torino. And so if I go to Paris, it'll be like the first time that I'm at an Olympics and my sister's not since like 2006, something like that. It's kind of weird. That's just some weird family trivia. My sister also has an Emmy. She just kind of casually keeps it around the house. I don't even think she displays it anymore. All right. Let's see. Oh, Adam says that Kiptum, Gide, and Barriso did Valencia last year. I mean, I know it's a fast field, and I know people run very fast there. I just didn't know if it had that kind of international draw because I don't think I've ever watched it. You know what I mean? I also think that because I think the main reason I haven't watched it is probably because it comes at a hard time of the year for me getting up early to watch a race. Because it's like the week after CIM usually. So. 76 says Kofuzi is the black sheep of the family without the Emmy. That's true. I do not have the Emmy. Yeah, but you know what? I do have a 100,000 subscriber YouTube plaque, so I think it doesn't really compare. Mark Peterson says my buddy has like 4 Emmys. Works for MLB Network as a statistician. That's pretty cool. That's pretty amazing. Probably just keeps it in his basement, huh? JC says, how long before YouTube awards, the Tubies? There are like awards and stuff like that. But from what I've seen, at least the ones that invite me to like enter myself into them, you have to pay to enter yourself. So it's kind of it's like a remember who's who in America's high school students. It's kind of that kind of situation, I guess. I don't know. And Dave says Philly Bowden is skipping Valencia for the Houston Marathon. Oh, she is. She's coming. I still haven't signed up for the Houston half yet, but I meant to do that today. I meant to do it Friday after the live stream on Friday, but I'll do it after the live stream today. If nothing else, I'll remember to do it when I make the muesli, the overnight oats. But yeah, I want to do the half marathon. So that'd be cool if Philly comes all the way over here. We'll have to try and connect either before or after the race. That should be fun. Go Running with Oliver says, where does Kofuzi hang his YouTube 100,000 award? Over the fireplace? Well, we don't have a fireplace. We're thinking about putting one in, like getting one installed. But like, we're probably going to put in, if we do, we'll put in a gas one. But then we're also trying to not rely so much on natural gas. I don't know. We're conflicted about it. But the award is right over there. It's just on the other side of this bookshelf. I just leave it in the box. I don't display it anywhere. So that's just where it is. All right. I think it's going to be a good place to leave for today. I'm going to go sign up for that Houston half marathon. Although now I'm like, well, should I just try and film Philly running around the course? But the Houston course is a little bit hard to get around. I'd have to get a bike or something like that. That'd make things difficult. But yeah, I'm going to go sign up for that half marathon because I really want to try and hit a half marathon PB. What else do I got to do? I got to remember to make the overnight oats, but that's not till later. There's something I got to do. I probably just got to do some work. I got to work on that DJI Osmo Action 4 video. So that'll be coming out tomorrow. And then we'll eat the oats on camera tomorrow. I'll let you know how that goes. And then we'll unbox another package. I got a couple other things. I'm not sure what I'll do yet, but I got some stuff from Adidas, but it's not that exciting. Just some stuff for my next upcoming trip. They're supposed to be sending me some stuff, so I'm trying to wait to see if that stuff comes in. I'll unbox that stuff because that might be more interesting. But we'll figure out something to unbox. and we'll just hang out and chat again, just like we did today. So until I see you guys next time, be safe out there, everybody. See you tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. Central.